Hey guys, Woods Farm here. Just back out working on the Kubelwagen. First thing I want to say is thanks to everyone that voted in the International Quarantine Car Show through D-Boss Garage. Because of everyone's support, I managed to get in the top 25 in my categories. So now we move on to the next round, which will be judged by various YouTubers. I'm not super optimistic because really the problem with the Kubelwagen is it didn't really fit well in any of the categories. So that's kind of the issue. But it is what it is. It's pretty cool that I got so much support from everyone, and some of these YouTubers put a shout out in their videos talking about the Kubelwagen. So that's a little bit of extra interest for my YouTube channel, hopefully. Anyways, just the other day I was talking to my mechanic and we are very close to getting the safety done. A couple little odds and ends. Windshield wipers. That's what I got to figure out now. And really after that I have seatbelts. I got a set of seatbelts from the junkyard. They're not the best, but I'll upgrade them down the road. But for now they're going to bolt right in and they should work just fine. A little bit of adjustments and tune up to the brakes. We should be good there. And everything else is covered. So it's really just a matter of calling Haggerty to get insurance, get the safety done, and then I should have it plated and on the road. So originally a Kubelwagen would have had two separate motors running each wiper arm individually. I don't even know if they had a circuit that was joined together or they were separate switches. The motors look very similar, but on Kubelwagens they had I think they had a manual override, so kind of a lever where you could manually operate them potentially. Whereas the Thing had a single motor. It was obviously a little more complex, I think. There's a high and a low setting, and there's also a return, which I'm not quite sure how to get that to work on a non-factory switch. But for the safety purposes, it just needs to turn on and function. Nothing fancy. So backing up, the Thing had a single motor with an arm that joined the two individual wipers so they would actuate off of one motor. So looking at pictures of Kubelwagens, it appears the wiper motor, at least on the driver's side, was centered directly over the steering column. Now on the Thing, it was so long ago, so many years ago, that I disassembled everything. The bottom frame of the windshield on the Thing was completely rotted to like nothing, which is a very common problem. Water will sit in here and that's what rusts them away. So I don't have a measurement or even a photograph that shows really exactly how they were orientated. And then the other issue is that on the Kubelwagen the windshield is quite a bit smaller. I think it's 2 or 3 inches smaller probably, somewhere in that range. So playing around and just trying to dry fit things, those windshield wiper arms, one of the windshield blades is, I want to say 12 and the other one's 11. And the 11 one is just a tad too big, I think. Now I went on to CIP1 and apparently there's a 10-inch wiper blade available for Volkswagen. So I think I can get this to work with two 10-inch blades. I just have to decide exactly where that first hole is going to go, and we'll go from there. So just a quick update on the Canopy. I'm moving on to work on whatever I can right now. I've got a lot of the Canopy sewed and fabricated, but I need a piece of material, a metal bar of a certain size for the front, and because of COVID-19 it's just difficult to get stuff like that. So it's on order. When that gets in and I have everything I think I need, I'm going to go back to the Canopy. But for now, instead of wasting time, I'm going to get these windshield wipers on the go. Another little small thing that I got done a few days ago is the front skid plate. Now it's a small little thing, but it really makes the front of the Kubelwagen look more accurate when you have this on. So it's complete, just letting it the paint dry, and I do need some hardware for the mounting at the bottom position. I need a couple of U-bolts of a certain size. Same thing right now, because of the situation, everything's closed, it's difficult to find stuff like that. So at least it's ready. Once I get the hardware, it'll literally take 5 minutes to bolt it on. So I'm just testing it out. It does work. I tested it before, but that's the slow speed. It's fast. And the other connections have something to do with the return positioning. I'm not sure how that works. I'm going to try to figure it out, but at the very least I should be able to get it so it works on slow or fast depending, and that's all I need for the safety. Just for the record, it's May 9th and it is snowing. Okay, so I drilled the hole for the motor and pretty confident with the position. However, I did run into a little bit of a snag. It's really hard to see, but there's that kind of arm that reaches down right here, this arm that comes up to the pivoting bracket. You can see there's a clearance issue there. It wants to rub on the frame. I suspect that the motor probably sat a 1/4 of an inch, even an 1/8 of an inch into the framework, or maybe the original thing frame was a little bit narrower at this point. This is an inch. If I had just a little more height here, it would not have a clearance issue there. So, and unfortunately that is magnesium or aluminum. It's not steel, so I can't cut it and weld it, because that was my first idea, is just kind of like just cut it off and move it up. An 1/8 of an inch is all I need, but right now it's probably going to rub once I tighten this down. I think I can sand it and maybe take a 1/16 of an inch off and it might work, hopefully. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm just marking out the position for the next arm on the passenger side. And I think before I drill this, I am just going to shave a little bit off of this and tighten this on and maybe put power to it and just see how much of a problem there is with the clearance there. Seems to be working. Okay, so far so good. I am going to need to order new windshield wipers. That blade is like 10.5, 11 inches, and I can get, I believe I can get 10s. That one's way too big, so I'm just going to get a set of 10-inch, and that should work. And I need to get a switch, probably a 2-position switch for high-low. But you can see there's the box, the motor, and wiring it up is pretty straightforward. I've got lots of places for extra circuits, and like I said, the switch, and it shouldn't take too long to wire it up. They do have like a springy sort of wire here, like 6 or 7 inches of extra wire, and that allows you to flip the windshield down and it kind of stretches. So I'm just going to leave a little extra wire, and that will allow me to open the windshield up. I don't think I'm going to open the windshield up very often, nor do I actually think I'm going to use the windshield wipers that often, but they need to be functional to some degree to get through the road safety. Well, I moved over and worked on the Scout car for a little bit. on the weekend there because I had some materials, and I kind of got stopped on the Kubelwagen, but was able to get some stuff today to work on the Kubelwagen. Managed to track down a 10-inch rear wiper blade. There was only one, but that's all I really need. A second one would be nice, but I should be able to maybe look around and find another one somewhere. More importantly, I got some U-bolts to attach the front skid plate, which is ready to go. And I got a switch for the wipers. Now this is a push-pull one-position switch, 15 amp. So basically I'm only going to be able to rig up like low speed on and off with this switch. It was 10 bucks. Now I do have another switch in mind off Amazon. It's considerably more money, but it's a lot nicer. It's black, it has a little windshield wiper symbol, and more importantly it's a 2-position switch with a return circuit. So I should be able to hook up at least high-low speed and maybe get the return position to work as well. But the only reason I don't have that is because right now, with the current situation, Amazon is telling me it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks to get here. So I'll get it later and upgrade, but for now, to keep on track with trying to get the safety done in the next few weeks, I'm just going to throw some sort of a switch in. The wiring's pretty simplistic, especially with just the low setting on-off. The thing that makes it a pain in the ass is it's really awkward to work in here under the dash. I've noticed all the electrical stuff I've done. This car is not really user-friendly to be working under the dash. Whether I'm working on the pedal cluster or the brake fluid reservoir. Anything, because these rockers are so high up. You know, most cars you can open the door and the door goes right to the floor and you can kind of just lay in there. And I mean, even that's not the most comfortable and is usually awkward, but the Kubelwagen is just outright torture. So, you know, a really simple job is a kind of a pain in the ass actually. But I'll get to playing with this wiring and at least see if we can get these wipers to move together at one speed. So I went on to CIP1.ca and was looking at the wipers, and I actually asked the guy, I sent him an email, I said, what wiper works? Because the way this system is, it's nothing like I've seen on anything newer, but it does have a quick kind of release here. There's a little toggle and this whole silver part slips off. Now, I was looking at wipers on their website and I said, hey, will these ones work? He said no, and pointed me to another pair that were very expensive. I want to say they were like 60 or 70 bucks for a set, which was crazy. So I came back to this and I looked, and if you see here, I don't know if this is like rigged up after the fact, but there's a rusty bolt there that just goes right through. And you bolt this piece, this bracket will bolt on. I'm pretty confident that I can do the exact same thing with a modern wiper, because that's essentially what this is. It's a more modern style wiper. So I'm going to get some WD-40 on this and get that off and see if I can get these attached. Okay, so there's the switch all wired up. I did put it on the constant power circuit by accident, but regardless it works. If you turn it on, you got wipers. And the other thing I finished, got the front skid plate mounted. You can't really see it very well from here, but it's on there. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up here. The next thing I'll be working on is finishing that canopy. I got to adjust the brakes, but we're very close to getting to the safety and then on the road. I think in the next couple of weeks I'll definitely be able to take it in, get the safety inspection done, get the insurance, and we'll be on the road. If you're new to the channel, definitely like, subscribe, And leave a comment below if you have any questions or comments. And as always, thanks for watching.